Over to you, Tracy.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 8 o'clock meeting of the PCEF Grant Committee meeting. This is a continuation of the meeting that we held yesterday, which was Tuesday, December 10th from 6 to 8:30 in the evening. And yesterday there were 8 presenters. The applicant organizations are on the screen. They are Energy Trust of Oregon, Bonneville Environmental Foundation, Multnomah Education Service District, Prosper Portland, City of Portland, Bureau of Planning and Sustainability, a City of Portland, Bureau of Fleet and Facilities, Tri-County Metropolitan Transportation District, we refer to them most often as TriMet, and City of Portland, Portland Bureau of Transportation. So again, these organizations made presentations for a total of 8. And committee members, we left off yesterday with discussion. And the last point of business is to have a discussion, finish out the discussion, and have an action item, meaning take a vote on a recommendation or a modified recommendation. And before we go back into discussion, I would like to take a roll call of members, please, and I'll just start in the order of my screen. Ranfis.
Good morning, Ranfis Genentino Viatoro, he, him, committee member.
Robin.
Good morning, Robin Waring, committee member, he, him.
Meg.
Morning, all. Meg, she, her, committee member, co-chair.
D'Angelo.
Morning, D'Angelo Moaning, our committee member.
Alicia.
Good morning, Alicia Chapman, committee member, she, her pronouns.
Faith.
Good morning, everybody. Faith Graham, committee member, she, her.
Thank you, everyone. And for those who are joining us this morning, please put your name in the chat and let us know what organization you are from. I just want to remind you that the chat, we will not be responding to questions or comment in the chat. PCEF will follow up on that after the meeting. But again, welcome the public, welcome presenters, and thank you, committee members. So at this point, if we can move over to the slide that has the particular action item that where we were yesterday, and the recommendation that was before the committee is, I move that the PCEF committee recommend to City Council the funding of 8 projects listed in the staff memo in the amount specified in the memo. And if we could move to the next slide that summarizes the voting procedure. And we left off, so we talked about the proposal. I did talk to, and the members, committee members shared their feedback through a temperature check. We had discussion. So where we are right now is if there are any amendments that committee members want to make, or a decision or a motion. So I'm just going to open it up for committee members, please. Ranfis.
Hey everyone, good to see you all again, and hi Alicia, hope good to see you too. Yeah, last night I sort of expressed some concerns with some of the lack of details for certain projects. Another additional concern I've had is just, I think, just disparity of just some partnerships with community and particular labor. In reflection over the night, I can be comfortable moving forward with the memo as described. There are some projects that really do need more details. I think I've highlighted my concern with the industrial decarbonization proposal. It's less about the proposal itself, which I think I'm very much in support of the concept, but just the lack of details for one particular solar project, which constitutes about approximately 80% of the budget, and just heard very little in the narrative. You know, with that said, I think what will make me feel, I think, just very comfortable, just assurance that, you know, assurance and clarity that each application will have a community benefit agreement that will just further detail the timelines, the spending, expenditures and just have an opportunity to further strengthen community partnerships. So I think those are just the things that are just really important. I think there are a few proposals where it seems like some of the workforce investment boards get really inflated around expenditures, where had they just partnered with existing programs, they could have reduced. It's not my place to fully question the logic of every applicant that approaches the things. I recognize that, but it is difficult to ignore sometimes where costs get really inflated. So with that said, I just wanted to just sort of reflect and share back with all the partners. I do feel like the saving grace for a lot of these applications are the community partnerships. And I just hope that as these programs and proposals work, continue to move forward. When we voted on this, we agreed that there would be a community benefit agreement before money is transferred. So I just want to make sure that continues to be centered here. But again, I think some of the proposals that really excite me that are here are things about schools, things about sidewalks, things where like these are clear, good community partnerships. It was really good to hear from neighbors for clean air and neighbors for clean air, part of the present application. To me, again, that's the center and heart for a lot of these applications. So I just wanted to share that and reflection. Just, I know that yesterday I highlighted some concerns. Those concerns live, but that's where I feel like for me is a path moving forward with these proposals. Thanks.
Thank you, Ramfis. Do other committee members have comments or questions at this time? Okay, I don't see any hands raised. Would someone like to make a motion? Robin?
I'll make the motion. If I have to read it, can you put it back on the screen? Thank you. I move that the PCEF committee recommend to City Council the funding of the 8 projects listed in the staff memo in the amounts specified in the memo.
Ramfis?
I second. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was that? You, Faith?
It was. I'm sorry. I can't find my raise hand.
Okay, so we have a second by Faith.
I was going to offer a friendly amendment just to get clarifying language. So everything that says in the amount specified in the memo, with the understanding that these will be established under a community benefit agreement, with the intent to further strengthen community partnerships, community and labor partnerships.
Ramfis, say that again. I'm writing that.
Oh, sure. So after the memo, after it says memo, so I move the PCEF committee recommend to City Council funding of the 8 projects listed in the staff memo in the amounts specified in the memo, with the understanding that these would be executed under a community benefit agreement to further strengthen timelines, to further define timelines to further clarify. Yeah, so after funds, this might be wonky, to further clarify timelines, strengthen community partnerships, community and labor partnerships.
So Ramfis, that's already a requirement of the grants, but you're just wanting to call that out in the motion itself.
Yeah, and I think it might feel redundant, but I think just further clarity of timelines again for some projects might be helpful, especially if we have this opportunity. I think the heart of the application of these applications were about partnerships with diverse communities. But yeah, I think in some of the presentations we heard the phrase community benefit plans. I think just adding further clarity on community benefit agreements would be helpful.
All right. So I will read the amended recommendation made by Ramfis. It says that PCEF Committee recommend to City Council the funding of the 8 projects listed in the staff memo and the amounts specified in the memo, with the understanding that a community benefits agreement will be executed prior to the disbursement of any funds that further clarifies timeline, community, and labor partnerships. Any discussion on this amendment? All right, I don't see any. So Ranfis, were you making, so your amendment, you're making a motion to amend, correct?
Yeah, I don't know where the procedures are right now.
Yeah, so if we could just get a second by the committee, by a committee member.
Second.
Okay, Robin, and again, I'll ask for a final time, any discussion? All right, we will move to vote on this amendment. Ranfis, I'll just start with you in order of my screen. And Sam, could we go back to, I just want to make sure with the voting process. All right, so if we're looking to get the following minimum number of affirmative decisions is required for a decision to rep the position of the PCEF committee. Each member can affirm the proposal, stand aside, or indicate that they do not support the proposal. So as I do a roll call, you can affirm, stand aside, or indicate that you don't support. So Ranfis, I'm assuming you support, but if you could just go on the record and say whether or not you do.
I support.
Robin?
I support.
Meg?
I support. Thanks all for being here, and Ranfis for shaping that.
D'Angelo?
Support.
Alicia?
I support.
Faith?
I approve.
Well, the amendment passes with 6 affirmative. Sam, any comments or final parting comments?
No, we'll follow up on next steps in the next year as far as bringing you all back together in January. Just I really appreciate you all jumping on first thing this morning to continue yesterday evening's meeting. Thank you. We're going to finalize. We've got our marching orders here to finalize our content here, and now we're moving forward. So really appreciate you all this morning. I assume this is probably the last of our public meetings for the rest of this year. So just I hope everyone has a wonderful set of holidays and gets some well-deserved time off. Thank you all. And
Thank
just
you,
thank all the
everyone.
printers. Yeah.
Well, safe travel.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.